Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country Returns. We're finally going to move on to the factory, and as I'm pretty sure I mentioned before, I would say the factory is my favorite world of the entire bunch, and I think I would say it also has my favorite level in the entire game, so I'm definitely pretty excited to get to this one. We're going to start out with 7-1 Foggy Fumes, and this one is going to incorporate a mechanism that we actually haven't seen in a while, and you'll probably be able to see as soon as we get into it. Yeah, we've got the kind of silhouette and accented red art style here, so that's kind of cool. It's nice to see a level like this again. I honestly can't remember when the last one was. I'm wanting to say World 2, maybe, but I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but either way, there are 7 puzzle pieces here, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, there's 7. And the first one we can get right here by spinning these fan blades, as long as we grab all the bananas that keep coming here. It's pretty easy to do as long as you just stay on the left. And don't try to, go too far up to the top, because they all pretty much fall in a straight line, so you don't have to worry about too much. Pick up all the stuff, and our first puzzle piece will show up. Alright, so you can see the K is up there. We're going to have to go over to this fan and then jump off to the left in order to grab it. And we got another fan here. If you want, you can get the bananas, going again here, but you don't really need to. There's no puzzle piece on that one, so I'm not going to bother. You do want to take the upper path here, though. You can see there's a puzzle piece right up there. You can jump on top of this wall and drop down to get it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's keep on going here. There's not really too much. This level's actually pretty easy. It really doesn't feel that hard, but also look in the background right above me right there. There's Mr. Game & Watch working on one of the pipes. I think that's a pretty cool reference, and it kind of fits, but there we go. Alright, so let's just keep moving on here. Like I said, there's really not too much to have to worry about. These things can be a little bit annoying, but I find it's pretty easy to actually just run under them when they jump, so you don't need to worry about it too much. Now, this is where things might start to get a little bit tricky. As you can see, our visibility is being extremely limited by the fog here, or I guess more like smog or smoke or something like that. So it's a good idea to make sure you know where you're jumping before you do. So, it's not too bad. It gives you a pretty good chance to see what's up. Now here we want to head back to the left and jump on these smokestacks. They look like they might hurt you or something, but they don't. The third one has a puzzle piece, and now we can head back to the right. Alright, now these guys can be really annoying. If the platforms work out just right, they can actually get onto these upper swinging platforms, so you do definitely need to watch out for them. Then once we get here, we've got to swing the fan over to the left, and that'll raise the thing over there, and then just jump into the barrel. That was actually kind of close. And shoot. Those things can be kind of hard to time. I usually just take the hit there if they're not lined up right. Alright, now here we've got to be a little bit crafty. This is a pretty hard to find puzzle piece. We want to come over here and onto this one, then jump onto the platform to the right, and if we go back to the left and blow, you can see that we'll actually uncover a puzzle piece up there. That one is very easily missed, so make sure you're on the lookout for it. Alright, I figured I'd get hit there. Well, I'm being kind of careless, but that's because this level really isn't that hard, so I'm not really too concerned about losing Diddy. Alright, there's our next checkpoint. Now here we've got these blades that are going to go pretty fast. If you do a roll jump, you can pretty much keep up with them and you don't have to worry about it too much. You got a coin in between there if you want, but you want to stay on the upper path here to get that puzzle piece, which is number 5. So let's wait for the coast to clear and then grab the G right there. If you miss it jumping off of that platform, you can jump over here from the right, so you don't have to worry too much. Then you want to blow on that little megaphone there to make the last puzzle piece. Well, no, that's not the last one. That's number 6, right? Yeah. The last one is actually just right up here. You want to jump onto the top of this fan and get it, so there you go. Now we're pretty much at the end of the level. We've just got this little bit to do. We've got this big bright red button, so let's pound it, and that'll start the fans up and clear out all the smoke. And now all the color schemes come back to normal too. I always thought that was pretty cool. But, alright, so let's just grab something. That'll work. And that will do it for 7-1. It's really not that difficult, but don't be fooled because World 7 does get very, very hard later on. So, that's not really a sign of things to come, but it is really a cool level. The art style pretty much solidifies it as being one of the cooler levels in the game, so that works. But now that we've beaten 7-1, the fans will start and actually clear off the rest of the map for us, which I think is pretty cool. There's actually a lot of things we're going to be doing in levels that affect the world map in this world here, so that's definitely pretty fun as well. We're going to 7-2, Slammin Steel. And this is where things start to definitely get a lot more tricky. We're going to see World 7's true colors here, but to make up for it a little bit, we're going to have sort of something similar to the, World 5. the forest world, I think, and in the fact that we're going to hear a pretty cool track from the original Donkey Kong Country. This track, of course, that's playing right now is the original. It's one of the songs that played a lot in Crim Croc Industries in Donkey Kong Country, and consequently, it's another one of my favorite tracks as well. So it's kind of cool doing all this, hearing that in the background. It really sets the atmosphere quite well. So it's definitely pretty cool. Alright, so as you can see, there are a ton of these slammers, as the stage's name would suggest. We've got a puzzle piece up there, actually, so we're going to have to head back. And in order to get up there, we're going to have to actually jump from this conveyor belt over to the right. That one's kind of hard to get to. You just barely make the jump, but you can make it. Now, over here, you can see the K. It's in a safe spot, so we can just jump up and grab it without worrying about getting crushed. Alright, and you're going to see a lot of these purple electric things in a ball. I really don't know what to call them, but you're going to be seeing a lot of those pretty much throughout this world. They're scattered throughout most of the levels, so you're going to be seeing quite a lot of them, and they're usually pretty annoying when you do see them. And these conveyor belts also make things really tricky, so... Alright, so you can see we got the O there. Then you want to blow on this fan in order to get puzzle piece number 2. Now we can keep on going here. Just make sure not to get crushed. It's always good to take your time. If you rush things, it's very easy to get hit and or die. So you obviously don't want that. Alright, so let's keep on going here. Now this slammer here is actually safe. As you can see, there's nothing up above to crush us. It will send us into this area up above. And we can get puzzle piece number 3 right there. Kill the chicken on conveyor belts. Yeah, there's a lot of chicken robots around here. You'll see why once we get to the end of this world, but... now here you can see we've got this giant crusher with designated safe spots. You want to go to the left from this one and pound on this in order to fall down, and that will take us to a bonus game to sort of break up the action a little bit. And this is another one where, obviously, as you can see, we got to bounce and get the bananas going in a circle. I find I'm getting worse and worse at this one as the game goes on. I don't know why that is. Okay, so that marks puzzle piece number 4. We're actually just about done with those. It seems like they haven't been too spread out, but I guess that's just how it goes. Now here, this is a pretty annoying conveyor belt section. Just make sure not to run into those purple electric things while you're hanging out. And here we're going to have to jump over that to grab the N. That one's really not too bad. It seems like that'd be kind of a tricky jump, but it's not too bad at all. Now here, the safe spots are designated with these little black and yellow caution stripes. If you want to hide in these that have the electric things, you're going to have to duck. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty easy to see. I mean, you're never going to be caught by surprise, so... Alright, then we get to the end and another checkpoint. We've got some more purple things, and we're going to have to actually jump in between these when the electricity isn't flowing. So that's a little bit annoying, and you gotta wait for this one too. Okay, go. Phew, that was kind of close. Alright, now here, as you can see, we've got crushers coming in from the sides. Very Super Mario World-like, if you ask me. But we're gonna have to make our way through these. The 5th puzzle piece was right there. Just make sure to go all the way to the left. Now, once we get here, things are gonna get a little bit quick and hectic. So just make sure not to get crushed. There are safe spots along the way, though, so you do have chances to rest. And you can grab the G by standing on that crusher. That's the way I like to do it. And there we go. That's gonna take care of 100%. So now here we're going to have to bounce through these 2 and then keep on heading up. Now here it gets a little bit nerve-wracking because you got to wait for the one above you to go. They go really quickly so as not to get crushed, and finally there's the exit barrel. So that level is pretty fun. I really do like it. It's very easy to get hit there at the end, but if you have plenty of life at that point, it's really not too much of a problem. So there we are, KO and G, 5 puzzle pieces, image gallery, let's go. So yeah, you can already see that World 7 is shaping up to be a pretty fun one, and I mean, I really just can't discount how cool that music track is that was playing in that level, so I really do enjoy it quite a bit. So let's go ahead and buy the key, because coins are literally of no concern. I've still got that little health boost that we bought like at the very beginning of the game. As you can see, I said I probably wasn't going to use it, and well, I haven't, so there you go. Alright, so we buy the key, and I think that's actually going to unlock 7-3. I believe 7-4 is the bottom one, so I'm going to go to 7-3, Handy Hazards, and this one is actually a pretty big step up in difficulty from 7-2, if you ask me. The platforming, especially near sort of the middle and the end of this, starts to get really hectic, and as such, it's very easy to lose your concentration and either take a hit or just fall down and die. So obviously, we don't want either of those. But First puzzle piece you can see is right above us. We're going to have to do a little bit of work to get to it, though. That's kind of the overall theme of this level, really. You're going to have to do a lot of work to get to a lot of the puzzle pieces. Now here, if we get on top of this fist, you can see there's a life balloon up there if you need it. And also on top of the next one is a barrel, which we obviously want to go in and go to a bonus game. And of course, this is the annoying try to grab everything while the platforms are falling down one. I really don't like this, but I guess we got to do it. If you can, it's a good idea to try to get sort of a back and forth rhythm going here. Crap, okay. Grab that one and make our way over here. There we go. Like I said, I really don't like that one. I think that's taken over as my least favorite bonus game. We haven't done the one where you have to avoid the barrel in the middle in quite a while, actually. I kind of missed it at this point, but oh well. Alright, so you can see the K is down there. We just need to grab it before falling onto the fist and quickly get out of the way before you get smashed. Whoa, that was actually kind of close. Almost got hit by that guy. Alright, so we got a couple things here. One, the big eye robot in the background. He really doesn't do much except look weird, I guess. And then the hand going over the flame. That one's pretty easy to take care of as well. So, alright, let's make our way over here. You can see there's a puzzle piece right above us, but once again, we're going to have to do a little bit of work before we can get to it. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, so we're going to need to go into this barrel and then wait till this reaches the top in order to hit the platform on the left, then make our way across these in order to get puzzle piece. Wow, holy crap, I just completely missed that, didn't I? Okay, yeah, I guess it works again. Alright, so let's do it. And let's not overshoot the jump this time. There we go. So that's number 3. Now let's make our way back this time. Shoot in between, then shoot up here. And there's a checkpoint. Alright, so we're going to have another puzzle piece above us. I'm sure you can see the moving platform. So in order to get up there, again, we're going to have to go to the right and back to the left. And now, do not underestimate the speed of that platform. That's actually really fast, especially compared to you. So it's really easy to miss that jump, actually. And you're also going to be seeing a lot of these things. The hand that get a box and then go away. A couple things, make sure the hand is there when you jump, and also make sure you don't get smashed by the box whenever it hits the hand. So a couple places to look out for with those. Alright, so now we can just keep on going, and here we're going to start seeing multiple hands, but they all pretty much have the same timing, so you don't need to worry about them too much. Now there are a couple things here we need to do with this series of fists. The N is in between them, of course. So then once we get through, we're actually going to need to head back and then get on top. And there's a puzzle piece up here, which is number 5. And you can see there's another one right next to us. So that one we're also going to have to jump to from the right. You can probably already see what we're going to do there. And like I said, it's very easy to get crushed like that. So thankfully that didn't mess up my jump, though. That would have been bad. Alright, so let's get going, make our way back through there and to the checkpoint. Things are already starting to get a little bit hard here. Okay, so we got some more hands to deal with. If you need to take a break, it's always a good idea to do so. Don't rush things. Now here it's very tempting to want to get a move on and just, jump over all of them as soon as you can, but it's actually probably a bad idea to do that. Here we need to grab all these coins in order to make a puzzle piece appear, land back on the hands, and make your way through. That's really hard to see again. And through some more barreling. The G is right here, so make sure you time that right. That takes care of all the Kong letters. And just go through there when there's an opening. That's pretty easy to do. Now here we're going to have a little bit of switcheroo. Just make sure that you can see which one you're in. And yes, we did get all the puzzle pieces. Alright, just making sure. And with those little 3 barrels that go around, if you don't know which one you're in, just wait for a second and Donkey Kong will peek his head out of the one you're in. So that one's really not too much of a problem. Just keep your cool. Okay, so that takes care of 7-3. Now, 7-4 is probably one of my least favorite in this world. In fact, it's actually pretty easy to say it is my least favorite in this world, but I'm going to move to 7-4 Gear Getaway. And believe it or not, this one is actually a vehicle level. Of course, we can't have a world without one of those, right? Have we yet? Actually, I really don't have any idea. I'd have to look that up, but... This is actually a rather interesting level, because despite it being a vehicle level, there are 7 puzzle pieces, and I'm pretty sure that's the only time that happens in the entire game. The difference is, though, a lot of them you get beforehand. As you can see, there's puzzle piece number 1. Puzzle piece number 2 is actually in that lamp right there, so already we're down to 5 again. So, really, those are almost just there for filler, if you ask me. You can see a pretty obvious barrel at the bottom here, so let's jump into it and shoot up, and that'll take us to a bonus game. So, after this, there will only be 4 pieces left, so now it's really more like a vehicle level, but it's still just kind of interesting that it's the only one, I'm pretty sure, that has 7 puzzle pieces in it, so there you go. Alright, so now we need to get up and get the rest of these. Grab that, and puzzle piece. I almost fell off the ledge there, that would have been horrible. Alright, so that is 3 out of 7. Now this is pretty bad because, as you'll soon see once we get over here, well, we can go through this thing first, it's kind of neat, but as you can see, this is a rocket barrel level, so it's going to get a little bit tricky, and by this point they're really not pulling any punches. First off, you want to grab all those in that trail to get the next puzzle piece. Now, just make your way through all the gears here. It's very easy to get distracted by all the motion. It does actually happen very easily, so just, you know, pay attention to what you're doing and don't really worry too much about the scenery. Now, the K is in this little batch here, so just grab that. Now, here you want to make sure you stay in the middle of these things. It looks like they can't do much to you, but if you're too far to the bottom or the top, they will actually clip you, like right at the back of your rocket, and you'll die that way, so you obviously don't want to do that. The O is up here, and then just go on down. This part can be really tricky because, like I said, those things can very easily get you, so just keep that in mind. Here, just stay in the middle, get the puzzle piece, and you'll be fine. That makes 6, there's only 1 left. Now here, if we can get all these bananas without dying, we can get a light balloon, so that's just kind of optional. I didn't need it, so I probably shouldn't have risked it, but whatever. Now get all these bananas in order to get the next puzzle piece, then veer up to get the N. Now all that's left is grab the G, and watch out for these things, make sure you're in the middle of them as well. Now this part is actually pretty easy. There's these large gears, but just make sure you go between them and you'll be just fine. This really isn't too much of a problem. You can see everything coming from a mile away and prepare yourself accordingly, so... Alright, so let's just keep going. If I remember, there's not too much left. We've gotten everything. Yep, there it goes. The rocket barrel craps out, and we are left on the platform with the exit barrel. And as we can check, yep, 100%. Awesome. So I actually did that on the first try, believe it or not. This didn't take any takes before, so I'm kind of surprised about that, but I guess I did practice it a little bit, so I'm not too surprised, but either way. Okay, so that does it for 7-4. A relatively quick level, but it can take you a while if you haven't been through it before, because it's pretty easy to die in a lot of places. So it also really doesn't help that it's 1 hit and you die. I think that's kind of dumb, but whatever. Gonna go to 7-5, Cog Jog, and as I said in the last part, this level is marked differently than the other ones, being that it has a square icon instead of a circle one, and believe it or not, that's not just cosmetic choice, there is actually a reason those are specially marked. We'll get to that in a little bit, but first let's go to the left and hit this lamp to grab the first out of all 9 puzzle pieces on this level, which kind of sucks. We're gonna have to look around a lot, but we'll get them all. So as you can see by this sign, we need to find this big red button, and that's pretty much why this level and the next 2 are marked differently. We need to find one of those buttons in each of the next 2 levels, or I guess next 3 if you count this one, in order to actually get access to the world's boss. You can beat the levels if you want, but if you don't find the buttons, then you will not be able to go anywhere forward. So you need to make sure you find those as we go through. Alright, so here we want to sort of wait and just, you know, rebound off the steel girder in order to grab the K before firing out of here. You can also see there was a banana down there. That's a pretty classic sign you need to jump down, and that'll let us get puzzle piece number 2. Now here you can get some banana coins if you want by bouncing off these guys. They each take, well, I kind of screwed that up. They each take 3 hits to kill, so you can get 4 total if you do them all at once and do it correctly, which I didn't, of course. And now we just need to keep making our way over here. Beware of these platforms because, as you can see, when it tips all the way, you will slide. So you got to make sure you keep jumping every now and then in order to sort of keep your footing here a little bit. Now the O is right up there. We just need to roll jump off this in order to grab it. Pretty easy to do. Okay, now at these circling platforms, there are a couple things to take note of. First, we want to hit this lamp to get our next puzzle piece, and then go into this pipe on the left to get to a bonus game. With that lamp, make sure that you do actually grab the puzzle piece on its way down, because it doesn't just hang there, it will actually fall. So if you don't grab it on the way there, then it will fall into the pit and you will not be able to get it. So obviously you don't want that to happen. Alright, so let's grab this puzzle piece and get out of there. That should mark number 5, I believe, so we're making pretty good progress on that. Yep, 5 out of 9. Okay, so now let's actually continue forward. It feels like we've been stuck in this little section for a while now. You can see there's a barrel coming up, but you want to leave that thing alone for the time being. We're actually going to use that for something in a little bit. What you want to do is actually jump onto this 3-tiered platform and wait till it reaches the top. Then on its way back down, you can jump onto each of the next levels. And, oh, of course I messed that up, so I'm going to have to make it take a little bit longer. Oh, you can see the puzzle pieces just right up there. I tried to grab it, but well, it didn't work, so... Alright, so there's puzzle piece number 6. Now we're going to jump over here to the right, and I'm actually going to take care of this Fire Tiki guy here, because we're going to need to bring the barrel across, and with him there, it's very easy to lose it, so I like to go ahead and take care of him. Now here you also want to be careful to make sure you don't slide whenever you land on this platform, or else you will lose your barrel. And now we're going to have to grab this puzzle piece on these platforms, which are really, really annoying to deal with. So, alright, just slide off that and into the barrel. Alright, now with this thing here, we've got a down arrow made out of bananas. Donkey Kong Country games love to do this. So what you need to do is pound on it, and that'll get this thing rotating. You're going to keep following it around until eventually you can see this piece of platform right here. It's got a gap underneath it. Wait till it stops, pound on it, that'll take us down. And we can go into this area where you can find our big red button for the level. So whenever we pound on it, that will cause the electrical plug to go into the socket there and get everything flowing. So like I said, there's going to be one of those in the next 2 levels as well, so just make sure you grab all those while you're exploring around. Okay, so now let's actually get going with the real level here. Got another one of these stupid fire guys. I really hate these guys. If blowing wasn't so slow, maybe I wouldn't mind as much, but he's kind of got to charge up a little bit before he does it. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, so you can see the next puzzle piece is above us. We're going to have to actually continue on a little bit and then jump off of this in order to grab it and then get back into the barrel. Now we head over to the right. The inn is right above us. As you can see, it's pretty easy to get to. Get some more banana coins just for the heck of it, I guess. And now we're going to have some rotating platforms with climbable surfaces. You knew that was going to be coming, right? I mean, they couldn't leave that out. So we jump onto these. Make sure you ride this second one all the way up to the top, because once we do so, you can see a puzzle piece is waiting for us. So that one's really clever because you really wouldn't think to do that, but you got to make sure to if you want to get all the puzzle pieces. Alright, so for now, let's keep on going. Was that? Yeah, that was number 9. Alright, I thought that was the last one. I just wanted to make sure. So now all we've got to do is pretty much beat the level and grab the G along the way. So that's pretty good. So let's drop on down here. That one can be a little bit hard because you can't quite see where you're going. So let's hang on to the surface here and then drop into the barrel. Now make sure that the climbable surface to the right is actually lined up before you shoot. Otherwise you'll just, shoot down into the bottomless pit and die. So now is good. I'll take us up here. Now you can see the G is in between here. And this one is a little bit tricky because it's on the inside of this circle. So what you want to do is wait until pretty much the last minute and then jump, and you'll get on the inside. And stand on this little edge and then get back out. That one can be kind of hard to do, but since we have done that, that's now marked 100%. So let's get some stuff, I guess, and get out of here. So yeah, you can see the platforming is definitely starting to get a lot more difficult, and we are actually nearing the end of the game. So it only makes sense that it does so, but it's still pretty cool. I really don't mind that level. The platforms can be really easy to slide off or mess something up, but either way, we got through it. So as you can see, since we've hit the button, that's caused that little thing to light up to the middle there. Now, we still have to do that in the next 2, of course, but we're going to go on to 7-6 Switcheroo, and I would have to say that this is probably my second favorite level in the game. Coincidentally enough, followed up by 7-7, which I would say probably is my favorite level. I don't know, it's really close between those two, to be honest. So this one's really fun. It's got a really, really interesting mechanism that we're going to be dealing with, so that's pretty cool. And of course, as a subtle reminder, we've got to find the red button, so just keep that in mind as we go through. So as you can see, we're blocked off by this big red block, so what we can do is actually hit this blue light, and you can see it'll go in, and the blue block will come out. So we're going to be dealing with this a lot. As you can see, it's relatively simple at first. You just need to, switch it away from the one that's in front of you, but pretty much right here, actually, we're going to get a taste of what the different kinds of things are they're going to do with it. So we want to jump up here, hit the light on the way in order to make the red platform come out. Then we want to jump from the red platform back to the left onto this red platform, and then keep going through here, roll into the chickens, and as you can see, there is a barrel here that will take us to a bonus game. So this is a standard variety, one we've seen many, many times throughout our adventure so far. So let's just finish this one up. And my strategy for this is pretty much always the same every time, so... On a lot of them, I kind of tend to switch it up randomly, just, I don't know, for... It's not really even for any reason, that just kind of tends to happen. But that one is pretty much always the same. Okay, so that's our first puzzle piece. There are 5 in this level, if you didn't catch the total over there when it popped up. Alright, now here we're going to have to take sort of a leap of faith that whenever we hit this light, it's actually going to switch the platform over. So, that's pretty cool. It'll always work, don't worry. I mean, I made that sound like, you know, it may not always work, but no, it will. And here we've got to move the platform away so the tire will drop down, then hit the red light up top to eventually land on the platform. So you can see it's already getting kind of creative, and we haven't even gotten into the really cool stuff yet. Alright, so here we need to basically avoid the red lights, because as soon as we switch it over, our platform underneath will go away, as you can see, but the K is right there. So... Oh man, that was really close. I swear I thought I was going to die there. Okay, so what we need to do is actually go in between the red lights. You can see there's kind of a gap there. So just go in between there in order to grab the cave, then go in between again to get back. Okay, and now here we've just got a basic thing to do there, switch over. You can see there's kind of a cracked platform underneath this red one. I think that's kind of obvious, but I could see why you would miss it. You can also see there's these big purple electric things here. This will also demonstrate another feature of this level. If the enemy is standing in front of the platform whenever you switch it over, as you can see, it'll get defeated. Even those things, which we couldn't defeat any other way. And that will also reveal this passage underneath. We can go into the barrel, and this is the red button for this level. So there we go. That one's pretty easy to find, I think, because the cracked platform is really obvious, but I could really see why you wouldn't be looking for it, so... Alright, so now that we've got that done, let's continue on with the level. We've still only got 1 puzzle piece at this point, so it's going a little bit slowly in that regard, but it'll pick up in a little bit. Whoop, missed it there. So here we've got to jump up and switch the colors whenever necessary. There's the O, so just make sure to grab that. Now here we're going to have to get a little bit creative if we want to continue going up. You can see there's a wall of red lights, so you got to roll jump underneath it up to this platform, and then jump out here to this one in order to keep going up. Going to the right is the way to continue, but as you can see there's a puzzle piece up here, so we definitely want to go up there and do that. Alright, so we got a checkpoint here. Now here we want to just stick with the upper path of blue blocks. It's very tempting to try to go down there. You know what, actually it might be more tempting to just stay up here and avoid all that crap, but we can get into a barrel up here and that will take us to another bonus game. And this one is one we also haven't seen in a little while. We've got to shoot in between all the barrels here. Let's see if my strategy will work again. Alright, that went really well. If that goes perfectly, it's usually always 20.2 on the timer, so that's just kind of how I managed to work it out. Alright, so now let's continue. And here we have another segment where we need to avoid the lights, so just make sure to do your bouncing right. We need to switch it over so we can bounce over here. Just do short hops to get in between. Don't try to do anything full until right here when you get the end. And also, you just really need to make sure that you do not hit the lights. Otherwise, you'll have no platform to fall back down on. Alright, so here we've got to bounce over these. It can be a little bit tricky, actually. It's very easy to accidentally hit the light. And here we just want to kill those guys by making the wall come out. You've seen that happen before. And now we're at another checkpoint. Okay, so here we need to do a short hop in order to get underneath, then onto this one. And now here things start to get a little bit more complicated as well. We're going to have to jump onto this blue one, back over to the left onto that red one, then hit this blue light and jump up. So you got to kind of do a lot of transitioning there. That can be a little bit tricky to figure out, but eventually you just learn to work with it. And this is where the level starts getting really cool, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and duck under this thing while we've got the platform underneath us. Again, make sure not to hit the lights. So jump over and then duck again in order to grab the G. Alright, now let's get back up here. Again, do not hit the lights because our climbable surface is on a red block, as you can see. Now whenever we drop down, we're going to hit the blue one to make it come out, duck under this guy. And climb over here. This is really cool too. Then jump back to the left and climb on its climbable surface and go back to the right. I always thought that was pretty neat. And here we've got plenty of life. I'm going to take a hit because there's a heart right there, so, you know, just to save a little bit of time, I guess. Alright, now here we need to jump back up and hit the light. Make sure not to hit it while you're going down, otherwise, again, you'll just fall right through. So let's wait for this guy to do his thing. And then make our way back down here. We're going to have to avoid the light. That one can be a little bit tricky. It's a lot easier if you have Diddy because you can stay up in the air for longer. Now we need to drop down here and duck. Then continue on to the right. Kill these guys so we can get on through. Now we're going to have a little tower to scale here. We want to just keep going back and forth pretty much. I kind of did this a little bit wrong, but you can jump off from the top here and grab this puzzle piece, which will mark number 5 and finish our 100%. So now we just need to finish going up. And you also probably heard the exit barrel already. So, yep, there it is. So let's grab it and get out of there. So really, I mean, Switcheroo has some pretty awesome mechanics, switching back and forth between the red and blue. I think they really utilize that to about its full potential. I mean, there were a lot of creative little sections, times where you had to avoid the light instead of hit them, and times where you had to kill enemies using the platforms and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun, and one that I definitely enjoy going through. It is quite easy to die, though, and get switched up, so just make sure you're paying somewhat close attention. We're going to go to 7-7, which I've been looking forward to pretty much since we started this. This is Music Madness. Now, I'm a pretty big music fan, as you've probably been able to tell throughout the course of this. I talk about the tracks quite a lot, because they're pleasant to listen to. This one's got an awesome track, but it's pretty much entirely based around the music in the background. Platforms are going to move based on it, obstacles are going to crush you based on it, so there's definitely a lot of fun to be had here. First, you want to go to the left and climb on this vine in order to open this up to get a puzzle piece. So that one's pretty easy to find. So you really only need 4 throughout the entire level. So here you can see we've got these hammers that are sort of beating away to the music here, so just make sure you wait for them. You really don't even need to have any rhythm. You know when it's about to hit. I mean, you can tell. So that one's a little bit tricky because it's going back and forth. You can see the K is right above us there on that thing, so we're going to have to wait for this to come down. It's kind of hard to time, though. You got to jump a lot earlier than I feel like you should. I missed it again. Oh, come on. I thought I was right there. There we go. So like I said, you got to jump pretty early. It also really helps if you have Diddy. It makes it a lot easier to get up there. Alright, so now we just got to shoot up here. Make sure not to get crushed by these things. It's pretty easy. I mean, you can just run straight through most of the time and not have to worry about it. Now here we're going to have to make our way back to the left. Let's let this thing explode. There we go. We're going to have to make our way back to the left on top of this thing, so just try to work out the timing as best you can. Again, it's a lot easier with Diddy. Going to go up here, fire into the barrel, and get to a bonus game. And here we go with this variety again. I'm pretty sure this is the first one we ever saw, so you should be used to it by this point. Grab the rest of those and the puzzle piece, and we are out of here. Okay, so now we're back on top of this thing. Let's quickly get off before we get flung around. And go into the barrel and fire into the next section. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is this part. We've got these platforms that sort of look like they're on zippers, if you ask me. Doesn't that kind of look like it to you? But basically, these things move. I believe they hit their side on beats 1 and 3. So it is with the music, but it starts moving like a half a beat early. So you just kind of have to anticipate it. And it can be a little bit hard to get down here. You can see a puzzle piece popping in and out. You want to roll jump in order to get that. Thankfully, that guy's there because I really messed up and didn't roll jump. You want to roll jump to get it and then go back across before that moves again. As you can see, that's still a little bit tricky even if you know when the timing is. So that one just takes a little bit of finesse, really. Alright, now we got to get underneath there to grab the O. This one's easy. You just jump up through it, and it's really not that hard to get. Then make our way on and past that. Phew. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this thing out so it doesn't cause us any trouble. You can see there's a banana bunch up there. You can get it if you want it, but I really don't care. So now we've got these hammers that are going down along a line. Pretty easy to avoid, I mean, as long as you're somewhat quick to get it. You also want to pound this little oil drum here in order to get a puzzle piece. And then make your way through here. This one's kind of cool. Of course, I timed it kind of badly, but you got to make your way in between each of these hammers, just like that. Then once you get up here, you can grab the N, and then before you go any further, take a look at the floor down below you. It's not really very obvious, but you want to pound on this thing, then pound again in order to get a puzzle piece and get shot back up, and that's number 5. So we finished that completely now. Get the banana coin in here, I guess. Now we've got a series of hammers. I don't remember exactly how many there are. I think there's like 9 or something, but you got plenty of time to get through, so it's no big deal. Alright, and here we've got some things that are sort of shooting water and fire up. Obviously, the water ones won't really do anything to you except, you know, throw you up. But you don't want to get hit by the fire. That's just kind of self-explanatory. The only problem with the water ones is they'll oftentimes tend to mess up your jump, and it can be very easy to accidentally fall off because of that. So you can see the G is right here. It's easy to get. You can either let the water shoot you up or just jump to it. It really doesn't matter. Okay, now here you want to pound underneath and go into this barrel, because, don't forget, we've got a red button to find here too. I know it's easy to get caught up in the level, but you got to make sure to find this one. And that'll mark the last of the 3 buttons we needed to find as well, so that's pretty good. So now let's get back up and back to it. We've collected everything we need to collect. We've got the puzzle pieces, the the Kong letters, ending with the G, and the red button now as well, so we just need to get out of here. And this is really cool, or actually, no, it's not this one, it's the next one coming up. I don't know why I thought it was this one. So we just got to make sure to avoid the fire, which is pretty easy to do. Again, the water can really mess up your jump, though, so just beware. Alright, now this is the really cool part. Check this out. These are like huge hammers and platforms, so we want to jump over where we're not going to get hit, and watch this. Whoa! Also, you want to make sure not to be really anywhere near the hammer. As you can see, it kind of hit me on the way back up, which I think is a little bit cheap, but that's just kind of how it works, so you learn to get used to it. So we go on up here and make our way over this, so I'm going to wait so I can safely jump over it. See, I mean, you really just need to avoid the hammer all the time, not just when it's coming down. Alright, then here's the exit barrel up top. Grab it, and we can get out of here. So, it's a pretty cool level. I always like when levels are based around music in games. I can think of a few in, like, Super Mario Galaxy that do that. Like, the platforms would change. You know, like, some of them would be there, some of them wouldn't. They'd alternate whenever, like, certain beats in the music would come up. I like levels like that. I'm pretty much just a sucker for music in general, so... so if you base a level around music, I'm almost guaranteed to like it. But okay, so we finished up all of these levels here, and we found all the red buttons, which makes this rocket appear in the middle. And that's also going to unlock a couple of things, really. We're going to move on to 7K Treacherous Track. And now this level is actually kind of interesting. It is still, of course, pretty difficult, being in the K category of levels. But it's going to deal with a mechanic that we really haven't seen yet in this game. So it's a pretty refreshing addition, actually. This is a pretty fun one. I kind of like it. So first off, they give you Diddy, which is really nice, actually. He makes this level a lot easier. I'm glad they did that. Of course, even if they didn't, you could just go get it. But as you can see, we're riding on this little platform thing along a track, and we need to hit these little red jewels to make the next section of track appear. If you don't hit it, then obviously the platform will just fall right off the track, and you won't be able to continue, and you'll be pretty much forced to kill yourself. So it's happened to me a number of times, but... I mean, and also, you need to still remember to look out for those puzzle pieces. There are, again, 5 of them, so getting those can be a little bit hard, especially if it's your first time through. You might have to feel this level out a few times before you can actually get them. So here we need to drop down and get this one underneath, and then kind of wait a little bit. Don't go too fast, because those platforms will disappear underneath you. Bounce on up here, then bounce off this guy and grab this puzzle piece before falling down, hitting that jewel thing. It kind of looks like a jewel to me. I don't know, that's really just what I call it. But yeah, as you can see, you've really just got to work out the timing for all this in order to make your way through. Another good general rule of thumb to follow for this level is if there is a path that is off of your platform, you generally want to take it, because it will either lead you to a jewel thing that you have to hit, or to a puzzle piece, or sometimes both. So, you know, it's a good idea to keep that in mind. Now here we want to be a little bit quick and jump on this platform, because as you can see, a puzzle piece will appear underneath. And then there, I almost always take a hit. I've never found a way to get through there without getting hit. So then quickly grab this and get on the way. We're going to have a lot of rapid fire switches we got to hit here, so just make sure you're somewhat quick about it. Fall down through this one. Again, I always get hit right there. I do not know how to do it without getting hit, so I think that may be why they give you Diddy. We also want to check and see, yep, we got 5 of 5 puzzle pieces. I was not even paying attention to those, but we made it through the level. We lost Diddy along the way, but again, I mean, you saw that. I don't know how in the world you're supposed to get through without it, so... Alright, there we go. We've only got one more K level left, so... that's, of course, in the next world. We are definitely getting very near to the end. You can really feel it. Alright, so that takes care of the K level. Now all that's left to do is to head over here. First off is 7R, a suffix to a level that we haven't quite seen yet. This is Liftoff Launch. Basically, as I've mentioned before, all this really is sort of a transition level that will get us to the boss. So, as such, this is only going to take a couple minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in before we take on the boss. So there's really not too much to this. There are no puzzle pieces to collect, as you can see. There are no Kong letters or anything. It's really, literally just a transition level. So we go up in here and into this giant rocket that we made up here. Press A, and as you can see, we've got sort of a vertical rocket barrel level. I'm pretty sure this is the first one of these we've seen. It's really nothing too special, except the difference is you use A to actually control your vertical positioning, be it, up or down. So you don't really need to use it in this level. You can really just stay at the bottom, and it's actually advisable too, so you have plenty of time to see what's coming up. So as you can see, we've got some pretty narrow corridors to go through here, so it's a good idea to make sure you're paying attention. Now we've got some big blimps to avoid, so that's pretty easy. They are rather large, but you've got plenty of time to see where you need to go, so it's no big deal. In between those two. That's kind of a tight fit. You might want to watch out a little there. Now here we're going to have this blimp that's going to be dropping bananas, so just stay in its path and try to get as many as you can. So that's kind of nice of them, I guess. Then as you can see, eventually we reach the top and blast on through, and that does it for the level. Like I said, that was literally just a small transition. It didn't even take a couple of minutes, so, I figured it'd be kind of pointless to have that as its own video. But now we're going to move on to the boss, Feather Fiend. So, awesome. Now this one is actually a little bit difficult, if you want my opinion. It can actually be somewhat tough to do if you don't know its pattern, but once you get it down, it's really not too bad. Hopefully we'll be alright. So of course they give you a DK barrel. It's just standard practice for boss levels, really. We can climb our way up here and to the right, and be treated to the scene. So here we go. Remember I pointed out before there were a lot of little chicken robots? Well, now you can see why. There's actually a giant robot with a chicken in it, so I guess that makes sense. It looked like we stumbled upon a pretty important place, though. This seems like sort of a manufacturing plant for the tikis, really. But anyway, I guess we could talk about the boss fight. As you can see, he's going to be walking along. We need to just survive for the time being, go under his feet, which is actually a little bit hard to do unless you've had some practice. And as you can also see, he'll occasionally speed up and be really annoying. That almost happens at random like that, but as you can see, you kind of learn to follow when he's going to do it. Now he's going to jump up above us. If he spins around like that, stay underneath him and duck, because he's going to do this, and you can hit him. Then get out of the way quickly, because as you can see, he would crush you otherwise. So now at this point, just kind of wait for him to start doing his thing again. He'll probably start walking again. Yeah, that's usually how he does things. You really just have to hope he doesn't decide to do his fast walk, because that almost just seems to happen completely at random and with no warning. So you really just want to... Okay, so he's going to... there he goes. Yeah, and then he'll jump at the end of that one. So get underneath and duck again. You want to make sure he's spinning around, though. He has another version of it that he doesn't spin, and he'll come down just like that. So he hasn't done it yet, so it's kind of hard to point out to you, but maybe he will before too long. Alright, so I was going to go over there. If you wanted, you could be in position for that, but that's a little bit hard to do. And then if we can get this just right, he'll raise his foot there, and you can get a quick attack in right there if you're good. And what do you know? We've already beaten his first phase. That's right, he's got 2 phases, and they're actually both completely different. It's sort of a nice change. So here he's going to go across and drop a bunch of eggs that will unleash a bunch of chicken bots on us. Then he's going to drop down, then you want to jump on him to get a hit in, and pretty much just repeat the same process. That's really all he does. The chicken bots you don't need to worry about too much, because you can just kind of bounce on them, but make sure you don't pay too much attention to them, because you do have to avoid him when he comes down. So again, that's still really not that difficult. Just find an opening and keep going again. Oh man, he totally faked me out there. Like, I thought he was going to go a lot sooner than he did, but oh well. Thankfully, we still have plenty of hits, so it really doesn't matter. He only dropped a few that time, too. Alright, there we go. Then you hit him one last time, and he's done for. Oh, man, that looked like that hurt. Alright, so let's beat this guy up. That one went pretty well. I'd say 21. I don't think it's quite 22, but we'll have to see. Yeah, 21. That's about what I figured. I'm alright at estimating these, aren't I? I don't know if I've missed one yet, but... Alright, so let's get going. We finished up World 7. I kind of hate to see it go, but, well, you know, all good things must come to an end, so we can say our goodbyes to the factory. And, well, of course, after this little scene takes place. Nothing really too special, but... Alright, so next up is the volcano, and as you can see, we're at the top of the mountain. The big bad boss is waiting for us right there at the top, so some pretty tricky stuff is going to be coming up next. Volcano, it's an alright world, but it's really hard, so... well, you can all look forward to that, I suppose, but anyway, next time we are going to enter the volcano and begin the final world. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.